application. We built Time Machine using core animation. Core animation lets you take a scene and decompose it into layers. You can have a few layers or you can have thousands of layers. Each of these layers can be text, images, motion, video, OpenGL, quartz compositions, almost anything. For each of these layers, you specify a start state, a goal state, and optionally, you can supply some keyframes in between. Now you're done. Core animation will provide and manage the entire animation sequence between those states. So these states can include things like position, orientation, but also color, size, opacity, all sorts of things. And to really show you the power of this, I've got to show you a demo. So we started with a screensaver that we had in Tiger. And this screensaver in Tiger took us around 4,000 lines of code to write. There's a lot of OpenGL in there, around 4,000 lines of code. So the first thing we did was rewrite it in core animation. And in core animation, it's 400 lines of code. It's 1/10 the size. But once you get into core animation, this looks boring. We can do so much more. All these albums, they're on their own layer. So you can move them independently in 3D space. You can also, of course, move the camera around and fly. You can pick one album and flip it over and see what text tracks it has for the song track on the back. But even this is just scratching the surface of the power of core animation. Recently, we were running this iTunes commercial where we build a city out of albums. That was a movie. This is being built live. All we're telling core animation is where an album should start, where it should end, and optionally some keyframes in between. Core animation does all the rest itself. This is not a movie you're watching. It is being produced live on here. It's in fact interactive. I can go ahead and I can zoom out. I can pick an album. We fly the camera around to it. Pick another album, flies around. It's just that simple. And this final demo application is still written in half the number of lines as that original screensaver. It takes 2,000 lines of code in core animation to do all of this. So that is core animation. It gives you a lot of power to easily add rich interactive experiences to your applications. I can't wait to see what all of you do with it. Thanks. For number 7, I'd like to turn it back to Steve.
Good. Mac OS X is so great that we want everybody to have a chance to use it. And that includes people with special needs. And so we are focusing a lot on universal access for Leopard. We've got some major enhancements to VoiceOver, a technology we introduced in Tiger, which is really important. We're adding Braille support. We're adding closed captioning support in QuickTime. We've got some much faster and better ways to navigate around the whole system. So a lot of work going in to universal access. And I just want to share one aspect of that with you now, which is VoiceOver. And the best way is just to give you a demo. All righty. Let's bring this up. This is just a simple app that we wrote. And I'm going to play you some text-to-speech, which is really important to a lot of people. And I've just thrown in Apple's boilerplate here, the stuff we put at the bottom of every press release. And I'm first going to play you the voice that ships in Tiger. If you go get up your copy of Tiger and have it read you this boilerplate, this is what you'll hear.
Apple ignited the personal computer revolution in the 1970s with the Apple II and reinvented the personal computer in the 1980s with the Macintosh. Today, Apple continues to lead the industry in innovation with its award-winning desktop and notebook computers, OS X operating system, and iLife and professional applications. Apple is also spearheading the digital music revolution with its iPod portable music players and iTunes online music store.
Now, when that shipped, it was pretty state-of-the-art, but it still sounds pretty geeky. And so let me play you now what Vista's going to have, or at least is what's in their current beta. It's quite a bit better. Let me play that for you here.
Apple ignited the personal computer revolution in the 1970s with the Apple II and reinvented the personal computer in the 1980s with the Macintosh. Today, Apple continues to lead the industry in innovation with its award-winning desktop and notebook computers, OS X operating system, anti-lift and professional applications. Apple is also spearheading the digital music revolution with its iPod portable music players and iTunes online music store.
They don't like our words, I guess, but that's okay. It's still much better. But let me play you what we're going to be shipping in Leopard. It is, we believe, the state of the art. We haven't heard anything quite as good.
Apple ignited the personal computer revolution in the 1970s with the Apple II and reinvented the personal computer in the 1980s with the Macintosh. Today, Apple continues to lead the industry in innovation with its award-winning desktop and notebook computers, OS X operating system, and iLife and professional applications. Apple is also spearheading the digital music revolution with its iPod portable music players and iTunes online music store.
So, this stuff's really important to a fairly large set of users. And if you're listening to things all day, one of the things these users like to do is speed things up. And text-to-speech systems, generally when you speed them up, the quality goes way down. Listen to what we've come up with for Leopard. We've sped it up quite a bit here.
Apple ignited the personal computer revolution in the 1970s with the Apple II and reinvented the personal computer in the 1980s with the Macintosh. Today, Apple continues to lead the industry in innovation with its award-winning desktop and notebook computers, OS X operating system, and iLife and professional applications. Apple is also spearheading the digital music revolution with its iPod portable music players and iTunes online music store.
So, that is universal access. We think we're making some progress here. Next up's a big one. We're making some major enhancements to mail for Leopard. Now, if you're like me, you live in mail. And anything we can do to make mail better, more productive, gets real exciting. So for Leopard, we're doing some really great things. I want to highlight some new creative things we're doing with mail and show you a few of them. The first one is stationery. We're adding stationery to mail, we're adding notes to mail, and we're adding to-dos to mail. So let me take you through what these things are. First, let's start with stationery. You know, I just got back from a vacation. I've got some photos I want to share, and of course I'm going to send them around in an email, and it would look something like this. Wouldn't it be great if I could just open some stationery and apply that to my email and have it instantly look like this? Well, I'm going to be able to do that in mail. And this is just a standard, industry standard HTML email. It will show up this way on every popular email reader, on any computer around. So you can send emails like this to anybody, and they're going to look like this when they get to the other end. You can also make your own stationery. Let's say you're a school, you've made some stationery like this, you just fill it in, boom, and send it out. That easy. We're shipping a lot of templates in Leopard, and you can make your own and do your own thing if you'd like. So that is stationery. Second thing is notes. If you're like me, I send a lot of emails to myself. I take notes in a compose window and zip it off to myself because my inbox really is where I need to be reminded of things. And so I got notes in my inbox that I've taken myself. There's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a special message type that doesn't get lost among the others. And we're adding that for Leopard, notes. You can take notes in a special message type. They show up right in your inbox, but there's also a special mailbox called Notes, which coagulates them all together so you're not going to miss a thing. Now, a lot of times, we'd like to keep to-do lists. And we could send those to ourselves in email too, but we'd like something much more powerful. And so we're creating